I call this meeting to order. The City Commission of Rio Grande City. It is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. It is 6:03 p.m. It's a virtual meeting. And, this time we'll have the invocation by Commissioner Ramirez, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Jones.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I ask you to please clear our minds and give us the wisdom to make the correct decisions for the city and the citizens of Rio Grande. And again, your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez, Commissioner Jones. This time we'll have roll call and finding of quorum. Ms. Garza?
Yes, sir. Mayor Villarreal?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garza?
Here.
Commissioner Flores? Here. Commissioner Ramirez?
Here.
And Commissioner Jones?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. This time we'll have public forum. Item 1C, Ms. Garza, did anyone sign up for a public forum?
No one signed up today for public forum.
Okay, for the record, no one signed up for a public forum. Next, business and orders, item 1D, departmental reports.
Yes, Mayor and Commissioners, got Ms. Guillen. She's going to give us an update on where she's at with the process that she started to help out the local businesses. Ms. Guillen, are you on?
Hello, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Hello, Ms. Guillen.
Yes, I am. If you recall, we opened up the relief grant for small businesses, and we've been accepting applications this month. In fact, the final day to submit applications is September 30th of this month, 4:30 p.m. And just to let you know, we have had roughly 4 businesses who have submitted their applications. Some are pending some documents, and so we're following up to make sure that we get all of the information that we need. But we continue to accept applications, and so we're still receiving those through the end of this month. And as soon as we have that list finalized at the end of the day on September 30th, we'll come back to the commission and let them know of those businesses who qualified according to the criteria. And we'll take the next steps to issue the grant check as necessary. But so far, we have had some positive, feedback, and we continue to receive those applications in our City Hall drive-through over, through the drive-through window. And of course, we're still taking those applications through the end.
What was the total number thus far?
Yes, sir. We have 43 applications as of this afternoon.
Okay.
And Ms. Guillen, can you also touch on you and Ms. Foltz on the census where we are today?
Yes, sir. So we have been pushing our efforts for the census, and we are above the 50% mark. I think we're closer to 52. I apologize for not having that number in front of me right now, but we are in the last stretch of the census. That too expires the 30th of September. So that's the last and final day that we can self-respond. So we have some activities that are planned out through the end of the month. We do have a barbecue event, a burger event on Friday at City Hall. And I believe that information is in our local newspaper and is posted on our social media site. And of course, the incentive is to get people to come by and complete their census if they haven't done so already. But we've been working with our partners at the school district and the county, and of course our private businesses, to allow us to tap into their network of of customers or parents, for example, at the school district, to get everybody to respond. And so far, we're doing very well. We're hoping that we can exceed our 2010 percentage for self-response, and there's still some time. So I want to say that we have hope that we'll get there, just because of the momentum we've been building and all of our last-minute efforts to get everybody to respond. I don't know if Ms. Holt would like to add anything to that. I'll go ahead and let her do so if she.
Thank you, Delinda. Just, we are at 52.2%. So,
Thanks,
I'm
Norma.
happy on that. And also, we are going to be contributing to the RGB Census Ambassador Scholarship Fund, and from our Census grant, and that the scholarship recipients will be from Stark County. So we got we got $2,000 from the American Library Association, and I just sent Ashley the news release on that, the fact that we were one of the recipients. But anyway, one of the ways that we could use that was for scholarship for students. So we're happy to report that, along with some other monies that we have. And hopefully everybody can be out here on Friday to join us. It starts at 3 o'clock this Friday while supplies last.
By the way, I was Ms. Foltz and Ms. Yen, I was reading up on some of the municipalities that were using ice cream trucks to promote some of the census. They were out in the trucks and giving out ice cream and doing the census. Do you think that's something that could be viable? Maybe all the commissioners can drive the van. We can all take turns and drive a van as commissioners.
It's a liability, sir. It's liability.
Hey, come on, or pass out ice cream. I mean, something. I don't know. I mean,
I'll drive the van. You can dress up a little clown and go.
Yeah. Mayor, this is definitely something we've been looking into, along with glass and other things. And Ms. Guillen will have more information on those efforts. But it is, trust us, everything that we could think of, we have tried, and some things are unfortunately not something we can do. But Delinda, I don't know if you want to speak on that.
Sure. So we had a meeting with the city manager over in Edinburgh to discuss the success they've had with their snow cone, vehicle driving through the streets of Edinburgh. It takes a little bit more work, and we're kind of short on time, so it might not be feasible for us at this time to do that. So what we are doing is we're having this burger barbecue on Friday, and inviting the Rio Grande City community to come out and fill out their census if they haven't already, and receive a dinner to take home that afternoon. Another thing that I'm working on to help infuse some additional dollars into the local economy is to work with some of our local businesses. In fact, just submitted a list this afternoon, some participating small restaurants in our city that accepted to receive some food vouchers that we're also going to be offering as an incentive for those who fill out the census on Tuesday, September 28th, which is the Rio Grande Valley's virtual census day. And so we're participating in that. We're working with the local school district to push our high school students to complete their census and get others in their family to do so on that day. So it's a big push on Monday to get this effort done. The students obviously have the incentive that day to receive a gift card. So their chance for drawing for $1,000 scholarship, which is something that, as Ms. Foltz mentioned, we are taking part in. So there's a lot of different strategies out there, and we welcome any other ideas, but obviously we feel like, we've tried a lot, and we continue to push additional strategies to try to get more people to respond, and we're just excited that we've come this far.
And also, Mayor and Commissioners, we're going to be giving out some $100 gift cards on Friday as an added incentive. Come and get a burger, and we'll have some lucky winners going away with $100 gift cards.
Excellent. The On that, you said the last day for self-response was, what date?
September 30th.
The 30th, and then after that, it'll be knock on door. What's the?
No,
after-
sir. I think the census still has some work to do after that self-response date, and then all of the numbers get turned over to the president by December of this year.
You said December, right?
Correct.
So even after the self-response period, then census will take over, and then they'll be doing the I guess trying to make contact as far as on the houses, or what's the step that they're taking after that? Just to refresh my memory, just to make sure that I'm still in the same page as far as what the next steps are for census.
I believe that's what happens, but it is the last day for self-response. But I know that they still will try to get some of those that have not responded in any of the 3 ways that were available to them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the efforts. I know it's been a challenge, particularly with COVID and census in general. It's hard sometimes to get the numbers, but nonetheless, in spite of a pandemic, people are still, with the efforts that you all are enduring here. Thank you so much for those efforts. And to, of course, all our partners that are in this together with the school districts, as well as the county, the cities, and all the entities that are working on this, of course. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we got Chief Muniz giving us an update on the fire department.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and City Commissioners. Talk about the trucks. They have been, at least 3 of the 4 trucks have been assigned and ready to go. We're just pending the brush truck, but that's gonna be on their end. They're supposed to send us the paperwork. It's on their end. That's the delay. Once they got everything in hand, they're gonna go and start the process with me as far as making the details of those trucks. Another item to talk about is, if anybody has any questions on that before I move on, I have a couple of other items to talk about. The other item is the employment. As you all know, we have 2 openings pending. We already, last week, we completed the agilities and the interviews. So right now we're in the process of just screening the applicants, and maybe in this within a week or so we can have we can narrow it down to the 2 that we're looking into. And we had 12 applicants overall on the employment. And also want to talk about the COVID-19 testing. We have them coming down this Friday to Basilio Verias Park. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 9 to 1 is free to the public. It's going to be an oral swab, so it's not going to be, through the nose. It's going to be in the mouth, and it's a site registration, so you don't have to pre-register. You can register in the site. So those are the 3 things that I have right now going on.
So, Chief, when you start a question for you, as far as those COVID testing, is that assigned by who? And how many times per year do we get those free testing?
Well, it's assigned by a gentleman that I have from the National Guard I'm in contact with. We communicate throughout the year, and it depends on how far he comes and does other sites within the county. And this time around, he was available to do Rio. So we got a hold of the park to do it. And like I said, this is the second time that we're going to do it. We did one back in May, but obviously you can have some more. He did tell us, but right now I want to check out for this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it'll be up to us basically. Have some more testing done. It's just for us to make contact with them, and we can have them.
How many tests do they have available per day, Chief?
They don't say, other than they do have plenty. Sky's the limit. Basically, as far as people to come, we did tell them that this past Monday we went ahead and advertised it in the local media, and So, last time we didn't get that much results. We got about 25 that went overall. The last time we did it. This time around, we're looking to get more. What I do want to encourage, Mayor, is that other department heads get together with their staff, and maybe they want to encourage their staff members to take the test. I mean, like I said, it's free, 9 to 1 these 3 days. I mean, they can go and basically get tested. I mean, just for employees, obviously for the public. But I just like to encourage them to do that.
All right, Chief, another question. What is the probability of getting a false positive, and what is the next step after that?
Well, the probability is not as great. Well, they say that the swab, the oral swab, is a better testing than the one with the finger, the prick, that they get usually done. That's, you get the false positives, and then you get the nasal done to actually see whether it's a truth. And they say that they haven't had any problems with this oral swab. They say it's real. It's a good test. They basically are saying they haven't had any issues in taking them.
And are they getting the results that same day, Chief?
They said at the most it might take about a couple of days at the most.
Okay.
So they should be able to get the results within the end of the weekend.
Okay. Well, the good thing is that we still have these opportunities for free testing in our community. So hopefully the public can take advantage of this service being provided to us, particularly since it's several days over the course of this weekend, and again, being free. The operative word is being able to accommodate people without having to get a prescription. They're doing everything on site. I know I did it already on social media, so just continue pushing for it, and just maybe we can have a little invitation video, Chief, that or commissioners, if you all want to do a little invitation video on that and promote it, again, to continue making sure the public takes advantage of these opportunities presented to us. Well, thank you, Chief.
Yes, thank you.
Do we have any other directors that would like to give an update? That sounds like it's it, Mayor.
All right. Well, thank you to all the directors. I know continue to do the work day in, day out. So thank you so much for your efforts. We appreciate the efforts that all the directors and staff are putting into dealing with getting through this pandemic and moving forward. So thank you. This time we'll have the item 2 consent agenda, which is letter A, approval of minutes from previous meetings. Letter B, approval of action taken at the meeting of the rgc-tv board held on September 10th, 2020. And item C, approval of certificate of appropriateness for improvements on 420 East Main Street, Rio Grande City. Commissioners, you have it in your, this time. If
you'd like to make a motion to approve items 2A and 2B as an consent agenda, but I would like more explanation on letter C, Mr. Perez.
Sir, we got Mr. Milan.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. This is a certificate of appropriateness for improvements at 420 East Main Street. There's a canopy. As you notice, the investment downtown hasn't stopped either, and this is a small canopy done along Main Street. It follows the pattern of some of the other canopies, and it's for shade. The place has been approved by Texas also, because as you notice, most of these canopies are along Texas right away, but it has been approved by both Texas and the local Historic Preservation Commission, by the way.
Okay.
There's a small restaurant coming up there. They're going to sell barbecue, I believe, or a couple of wings, something that is a little attractive there for the area.
Okay, no, thank you, Mr. I just want to get to a clarification on that. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but thank you for clarifying.
Not a problem, Commissioner.
Well, with that, Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve items on the consent agenda, 2A, 2B, and 2C.
Okay, we have a motion to approve items 2A, 2B, 2C by Commissioner Ramirez. Do I hear a second? I have a second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion passes. Next item is 3 ordinances, letter A. Second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2020-5, City of Rio Grande City Municipal Budget for fiscal year 2020-2021. Commissioners, you should have had this in your packet, so if you have any questions or anything that we need to look at in reference to the budget. I know this is the second reading and we had already covered some of the conversations in the past as the first reading. Any modifications? Or is everybody good with the budget at this time? Or any questions for Mr. Perez or Mr. Cantu? If I could say one thing about our budget is in spite of a global pandemic, we're doing very well. And thanks to, of course, our Mr. Cantu and Mr. Perez and all the staff that put time and effort into this. And Rio Grande City continues to thrive, and our economics base fiduciary responsibilities are excellent. And it reflects with our certificate of obligations, our bond rating, the efforts that we've had in the last several years that have led us to this point. And in spite of this global pandemic and how businesses were affected, Rio Grande City continues to do well overall. So kudos to the whole community and people that are shopping here locally as well and keeping the monies in our area. And hopefully we continue that trend. And with the new development that's coming as well, that we can continue to keep some of these revenues and sales taxes here locally. That will continue to reflect well on Rio Grande City and the surrounding areas. Anything else on the budget?
I so move to approve budget as presented.
Okay, we have a motion to approve our budget.
Mayor, this is
Yes.
a specific motion. It has to be read specifically. Is
Okay.
there, Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes, sir. I need to go back to open up the agenda on my email. If I can find it.
I sent the correction just barely like this afternoon, so you might have it there, or you won't have to open the whole thing.
Yeah, but I think I have to scroll all the way down to that item.
It was, let me tell you when it was sent.
I can make the motion if you want, Ray.
You have it? Okay, go ahead. That's fine. I'll second it.
Yes. I move that
Go
the
ahead.
City Commission adopt and approve the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2020 and ending September 30, 2021 as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Flores to approve the budget. And do we have a second?
I'll second that motion, Mayor.
I have a second by Commissioner Ramirez, and at this time we'll have a record vote. You got
Yes. Mayor Villarreal,
in favor?
Commissioner, Mayor Pro Tem Garza,
Or
favor. Commissioner Flores, or
In favor.
Commissioner Ramirez,
In favor.
and Commissioner Jones.
In favor.
All in favor, sir.
Thank you. Motion passes. And at this time, again, congratulations to all the departments and all the staff. And for the city as a whole, this budget reflects the efforts of many individuals and every prosperity of Rio Grande City and the direction that we're headed and moving our city forward. Looks very promising. And again, I say this in spite of a global pandemic and how we've been affected. Nonetheless, our community continues to be resilient, and it reflects. So thank you so much to our business community and, of course, the residents of Rio Grande City and the surrounding communities who come and shop here in Rio Grande City and do business here. So thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate it. Next business and orders, item 3B, first reading and adoption of ordinance number 2020-7, establishing voting procedures and other matters related to the November 3rd, 2020 general election.
Ms. Garza?
Yes. You'll find there that in the ordinance, we already put the 4 locations where election day will be held, which will be the county courthouse, Old City Hall, which is Kelsey Bass, El Cenizo, and La Rosita. Those will be on November 3rd, 7 to 7. I do have a list in the back of employees that will be working. I am still missing at least 3 more. I could use some extra ones just in case because of COVID, since, you know, you never know if we might have people that get sick. Hopefully none of that will happen, but I am trying to find backups to have just in case. This list is a list that I have for right now, but I do need to have it approved by next week. So.
Okay. And on this, Ms. Garza and Mr. Villarreal, on the, there might be some possible confusion, especially on some of the sites, and it's important that we communicate exactly why we're having some of these sites, because somebody could easily say, well, why is it that we have a voting site in La Casita? You know, some of these other areas. So somewhere we need to just make sure that it reflects the reasons why we're having those and why we are at a point where we have to have it. So, because these questions are going to come up, I guarantee you that people see some of these sites are going to be wondering why we have, right? It's going to happen. So if we can have clarification before people wonder that there's anything going on that's not supposed to happen or whatnot. So let's make sure we get ahead of it and define in the rationale why all these sites, and why is it a must that we must have them there as well, as per Texas law.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else in there, commissioners?
Any questions?
No, I mean, at this point, just, I mean, it's right around the corner. So make sure we have everything in place. Ms. Garza, any equipment, make sure we have everything. And
right now, I'm just waiting on the machines. They are running behind, but I'm supposed to get them this week. I did speak to them. They're running behind, but they are hopefully by the end of the week, hopefully by Friday. They said that I should receive them, but they weren't too sure yet. And I have already the mail-in applications. I've already started working on the ballots, because I did receive some ballots. So I'll be sending out the mail-in applications. The ballots, I'll be sending them out already. And that's it, just waiting on the machines.
okay. Then, like I said, whatever we need, let's move on it. And, if you need staff and there's anybody that commissioners would like to recommend as well, or individuals that could assist, let's see what we can do to make sure we have enough staff.
Yes, and I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna see if I could have one lady come in, maybe part-time during the week, to help me out with the mail-in ballots, because I am getting quite a few, and I do need help with the mail-in ballots.
Okay.
Is there a particular training they need to have before they work that particular position to help you out?
The what?
Is there any particular training they need or any taking of any oath or anything like that to make sure that they understand the responsibility?
Yeah, on the mail-in ballots, I was gonna recommend if I could call in Miss Cynthia Cantu. She would help out Holly and both Liz. She's been working since I think 2016 on the elections for the city. So I was gonna see if I could call her in so she could help me since she does have experience on the mail-in ballots.
They will look at all that and make sure we have, I mean, at this point, let's down and see what you need, Ms. Garza, and then we can go ahead and move on. Obviously, we need to move on all these.
Yes.
Get together with Perez and also any of the commissioners that like some input on that too. So to see what we need.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. Okay, so at this time, do we entertain a motion?
Also, Mayor.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Can I add, Ramirez, if you're moving forward, why don't you just add the following, that you're moving forward, subject to the additions and changes that have just been discussed. Okay?
Okay.
Just that.
Motion to, subject to the changes that are, I guess, that Mr. discussed here in this meeting.
Yes.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ramirez, item 3B. Do we have a second?
I second.
I have a second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion passes. Next item is 4 resolutions. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2020-29, authorizing the city manager to open certain bank accounts in Lone Star National Bank to account and manage certificates of obligation dedicated to fund public utilities department expenditures and projects.
Mayor and Commissioners, for that one, we got Mr. Cantu. Are you online, Mr. Cantu?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Yeah,
Hello,
basically, hello, sir. Basically, what we're doing here is we're opening up a new bank account for the COs of the wastewater plant loan, or COs money that we're going to be getting from the Texas Water Development Board. They require us to have a separate bank account for it, so we should be receiving the funding for that project. I think it's sometime in November.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. Any further questions, Commissioners?
No, just the only recommendation is just to bring Mr. Perez, just to bring out those purchases to the commission. Just, again, just keep us informed.
Yes, sir. We'll keep you in the loop.
All right.
With that, we have a motion.
I so move.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4A by Commissioner Ramirez. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion passes. Next item is 4B, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2020-30, authorizing the city to execute a contract with the Texas State Library and Archives Commission for the TSLAC CARES Act Cycle Grant Program.
Mayor and Commissioners, for that item, we got Ms. Fultz.
Yes, Mayor and Commissioners, we're fortunate to have submitted an application for the Tslac, the State Library's CARES grant. And the most we could apply for was $25,000, and we were awarded $25,000.
Way to go, Ms. Fultz.
Yes, and it's being funded by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. So We are very happy to be getting this, and we will be replacing some computers along with some other equipment that we need at the library.
Fantastic. Excellent, Ms. Foltz. I know you're always out looking for grants, and you and your staff do a great job in securing some of those grants. So thank you so much for those efforts. Any further discussion on this or any questions from Foltz?
No, just a good job, Ms. Foltz. Congratulations again. Thank you for what you do for the city.
Thank you.
With that, do we entertain a motion?
With that, Mayor, I'll motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve item 4B by Commissioner Ramirez. Have a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion passed. Again, Ms. Foltz, thank you so much. It seems that you and your department forever receiving grants in different amounts for different needs. So thank you so much for those efforts. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next item is item 5, City Manager's Report, Letter A. Receive a report and discuss the City of Rio Grande City's certificate of obligation, including but not limited to authorized purchases for the Public Works Department.
Hey, Commissioners, on this one, we've got Hector that's been working very closely with Mr. Cantu from the Finance Department. And so they're looking at 3 items purchasing for the Public Works Department. Item number 1 is a dump truck going for $99,511.90. And then there's also a sweeper. We're looking at replacing the old sweeper that we have that no longer is working effectively and efficiently. And that one's going for $158,000. Plus, we also have a John Deere tractor, because Hector's got only one big tractor doing the major mowing throughout the city, and that one is going for $60,000, a little over $60,000. Plus, the mower itself is a little over $19,000. All these items are listed on the buy board. So it's not like we have to go after and seek competitive bids. There should be already at the lowest point. And for that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Cantu if you want to add anything else, or Mr. Hector.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Mr. Just a correction, Mr. Perez, I think the sweeper, aren't we going with the big one, 231,000?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
I pick up the last one.
The smaller sweeper that's probably going to be doing the job. Hector recommended the bigger one. It's going to be the sweeper 231,000, the brush truck 99,000, and the tractor with the rotary for 80,000.
Yeah, Mr. Perez, I think part of the buy board, I think it's always good to get a second quote just to make sure we get the best price. We do it all the time, and even though they're part of the buy board, it's always good practice to get at least a second quote.
Okay, we can have Hector do that by the end of this week and see if we can get a better deal, just to make sure that we're getting the best deal.
Correct.
And also note, maybe Mr. Cantu, and I know we've had this conversation, but if you can be part of some of those possible negotiations and helping some of our directors from a financial perspective and kind of helping them out with the negotiations of some of these prices. And again, is to have someone with a business background that has some expertise, and hopefully down the road, as in next fiscal year, we can bring in a purchasing agent if the commission so chooses at that point. But maybe this coming year we can start that process, Mr. Cantu, to start solidifying, to help our department heads with some of those massive items purchasing. So if you can assist, and I'm not saying for everything, just in assistance in major purchases, whether it's 50, 60, 100,000, those type of items. Because like I said, that is something that for next fiscal year, we can start looking into having a purchasing agent that specializes in getting the best deals. So, and offer that to the staff, to the directors, so they can know they can come to you with that assistance.
Yeah, sure. I'm always in the middle of big purchases like this. As a matter of fact, the sweeper, we were able to bring it down 30,000. Hector called back
Excellent.
the sellers, and they were able to bring it down 30,000. I believe this one was around 265. They were able to bring it down to 231,000. And we've dealt with this company before. I think we bought a Vector truck last year for the water department. So we're returning customers, so they were able to give us a discount there.
Excellent. So yeah, thank you so much for assisting with that, at least for the course, like I said, of this year, and then establish down the road another department in the sense of purchasing within your department, of course. Then we can look into as the commission down the road. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. Barrera? Are you Mr. Barrera?
Yes, good evening, commissioners, mayor and commissioners. Actually, I did talk to all of them, starting from the tractor to the dump truck. We did get a much better price than we used this since the first time that we talked to them. On the tandem truck, they lowered at least $3,000 on it. And like Lionel said, on the sweeper, they went 30,000 less than it was. The one that I couldn't get lower, it was a tractor, but we were dealing with the factory, the pipeboard. They couldn't go lower than that.
So how do you feel about your new equipment?
Oh, I feel good. Thank you, all of you, all the board,
All right.
Lionel, and it's been real helpful with my department.
And thank you, Mr. Barrera. Obviously, the equipment that we bring in obviously brings in the more efficiency for our staff and the work that obviously can deal with some of the heavier work. And the more equipment that we can bring on as our city continues to grow, the more efficient we can be as department. So thank you so much for bringing in those suggestions and keep us to our commission, because at the end, I know the city continues to grow. Sometimes we don't grow enough as far as staff members, but we can make up the difference is having the best equipment possible. So that goes a long way. So absolutely, much needed, much well deserved. Thank you,
Mr. Perez and Lionel. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you. Likewise.
Anything else there, Mr. Perez?
That's it. It's much needed equipment. Of course, you know about the sweeper and the needs around town. The mowing that needs to happen, not just outside, but also at the airport. So all those areas require attention, and you're right on the equipment. Having the best equipment for our employees gives us a leg up in making sure we can keep up with the needs of the city.
Thank you.
Mr. Perez, I don't know if you want to touch bases on the hazard pay that we're gonna hopefully add on this next payroll for all the first responders. I know that we had a grant that the city received, I believe back in June or July. We're just trying to figure out exactly how we're gonna go about. So we just got notice back from our auditors last week, and every first responder, I think Chief Moniz budgeted $1,000 for each one of them. So they're all getting it on this next paycheck. If it's
Is that going to be paid out throughout the year, or it's going to be like a stipend, a one-time payment, or how's that going to work?
I believe it's a one-time payment. The Chief Moniz probably has more information on it, but that's more or less to cover other expenses for first responders that they incurred throughout this COVID-19. So it's going to be more like a stipend on the check.
Okay. That's fine. Well deserved. No problem.
Well deserved, and obviously all our first responders that through this pandemic that have taken the efforts of making sure that our community can remain safe. So very well deserved. So yeah, absolutely. Let's move on it and make sure that they receive that proper compensation for it. Anything else, Mr. Perez?
Do we need approval on this one, Calixto, to go forward?
Yes, you do, subject to the discussion that was by Mr. Ramirez, possibly getting another quote or you know.
And they already got those, yeah, I'm sorry, and they already got those quotes assigned. We, you know, look for the best deal.
Okay, if that's the case, just all you need is approval there.
Okay, that's the motion.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, it's a motion to approve item 5A. Is that correct, Mr. Herrera?
Yes.
By Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is 6, contracts and agreements. Letter A, discussion and possible to approve the final acceptance report. GLC Construction, LLC, EDA Project 0879050774, Rattler Drive work.
And Commissioners, for that one, we got Miss Elisa Beas.
Go, Ms.
Yes, sir.
Beas.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. We are nearing the end of the EDA contract. The Rattler Drive improvement was contract number 2, funded under the EDA grant. This contract was awarded to GLC Construction back in December 20th, 2019. It was delayed due to some of the rains, but we are finally at the end. It got 2 final inspections with a punch list, and those punch list items for the majority have been met. And this is one of the final steps that we have to close our EDA contract, which all documents are to be in Austin by the 28th of this month. I know we've been visiting the street, and I know there's some concerns. We've talked to the contractor, and I know that we have a 1-year warranty on the work after this date. I know Mr. Gilbert Guerra, our engineer, is also on the call. I don't know if he wants to add some things on the punch list.
In fact, I was there earlier today. Just make sure that we look at some of those. There were several areas of concern in some of the paving. There were some areas that were questionable, and just to make sure that it's done correctly, so that way we don't have to go back and have holes there very quickly or soon in the next several months. So let's look at all that. I know some of the sidewalks had some breaks in the concrete, so let's address all those points. And especially from what I saw is the area soon, the entrance from 755 to Rattler Drive, there's what appears an Apache area there. Let's see what we need to do to make sure that it's done correctly to where it looks brand new as opposed to patches of asphalt there. And any other concerns, let's make sure we bring them up and address them before we close out on this with the contractor. So just make sure we take care of all those and do a fine inspection and address all those concerns now before we get the keys.
Yes, sir. We still have not made the final payment. We did discuss the issue that you were talking about on that particular patch of asphalt. I know that discussion with the Real Delta, they're probably going to have the contractor do a seal coat, and that will seal any little crevices that might have come up.
And I know as far as the drainage, the rains that we've had, was it draining properly as anticipated, or were there any things and adjustments that they had to make sure we take care of as well?
There were 2 areas, Mayor, and one of them was corrected through the installation of an inlet, and the second area further east on Rattler Drive was corrected with the lowering the curb and gutter. We went out and looked at it. They tested it. They ran some water, and everything flowed. Nothing was ponding.
Okay. Excellent. And just, make sure that we have all that, and let's have our staff do some of these, fine inspections, whether it's the sidewalks, the drainage, or the actual street itself, to make sure we won't have any issues in a few months down the road. Make sure that it's done properly, which it looks good. I'm not saying it doesn't, just again, let's make sure we fine tune all the details.
Yes, sir, we will. As construction starts and continues on this commercial lots, it's something that we have to keep a real close eye with their construction equipment, because I know they'll tend to just cross over sidewalks and curbs and do some damages. I know that the people that were running the conduit for electrical did damage some sidewalks, but they did repair them.
Okay. All right.
Ms. Bale, was that the 2-inch line that I brought up, was that has that been addressed?
Yes, sir. I spoke to the Real Delta, and they will be replacing the 1-inch and putting in the 2-inch water line.
Okay.
Any others of those details, Ms. Beas, as far as any type of water lines, that they're the appropriate sizes? Everything good there overall?
Yes, sir. We are working closely with I know that with Enrique Cantu at the Public Utilities, since he will be inheriting all these lines to maintain and repair necessary in the future, or any tap-ins into it.
Okay. And I did, the drainage looks very good as far as directing all that water towards the arroyo. So it looked very good overall. So yeah, like I said, let's just address some of those finer details and make sure they're taken care of.
We will, sir.
Other questions, commissioners, or Ms. Beas?
No.
At this time, do we entertain a motion?
I so move to approve.
Have a motion to approve item 6A by Commissioner Jones. Second? Do I hear a second?
A second, Mayor.
I have a second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Beas. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next item is 7, executive session, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, section 551.074, personnel matters. It is 6:56 p.m. At this point, commissioners, we can close out this link and go to the executive session link. Thank you. Okay, we're back from executive session. It is 8:36 p.m. and we're item 8, reconvene into regular session in consideration of action on matters discussed during executive session, including the following. Item 8A, discussion and possible action regarding the appointment, employment, and/or termination of Stephen Cruz, the city's public utilities director. Do we have at this point?
Yes, Mayor, I move to instruct the city attorney to communicate with the city manager regarding an inquiry into Stephen Cruz's conduct.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Flores. We have a second.
I second it, Mayor.
I have a second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion passes. There is no action on item 8B. There's no action on item 8C, and no action on item 8D. This time, do we entertain a motion for adjournment?
All right, so move, Mayor.
I have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Ramirez. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. It is 8:37 p.m. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.